Previously, Shihao cultivates to reach the heavenly stage and defeats the leader of the looting gang which had harmed his villagers. For his bravery, he earns the title of the Stone Village's protector. Episode 11 opens with the scenes of Shihao and his grandfather's servant, Roy, eloping in the village. They ride Shihao's unicorn and begin exploring the new stone village. In the meantime, Liu reawakens. Shi Yunfeng sends a kid to find Shihao and asks him to give the news of Liu's reawakening to get him back on time. When the kid locates Shihao and Roy, he gives them the good news. Shihao gets anticipated and rushes back to Shiyun, his grandfather. The villagers, Shiyun and Shihao, present themselves in front of the holy goddess and bow down. There, Shihao begs Liu to tell him the location of that dangerous mountain where his parents were seen for the last time. Still, in hopes to locate his parents and end their miseries, he decides to visit the mountain and find traces. Liu goddess disagrees and forbids Shihao to go anywhere near that mountain as it can be dangerous for a teenager like him. Shihao brings to Liu's attention that he has cultivated the heavenly stage and also insists on locating the dangerous mountain for him. Sadly, Liu's mind doesn't change. She denies his access since that place is a hub of soul beasts that are way stronger and older than Shihao. Liu opens a teleport and asks Shihao to step inside it. Here, Shihao experiences an out-of-body experience. Liu reveals that she has separated Shihao's spiritual soul from his actual body so that she can send his subconscious to a dimension she has created by collaborating with other gods from across the globe. The dimension is specifically created by the gods to train their extra special warriors and worshippers. Since Shihao's one of Liu's favorite people, she decides to send his subconscious to the other dimension for intense training. Shihao feels like he's lucid dreaming about the dimension. Taking one for his parents, Shihao decides to enter the dimension because Liu guarantees that once his spiritual soul's intense training will be completed, it will be put back into Shihao's body, which will make him stronger than any other being in his village. The portal sucks Shihao's subconscious and sends him to plain sight where he witnesses hundreds of other people's spiritual souls who have also come for an intense training session. Walking on a rocky path, Shihao observes dozens of treasure bones engraved inside the stones. These treasure bones have the specialty to help boost a person's cultivation 10 times. With all the people watching him, Shihao tries hard to pluck the soul bones out but doesn't succeed. In order to make fun of him, two oldie locks show up and challenge Shihao to get the treasure bones out in exchange for money. Here, Shihao gets ultimately confused by the term money because his villagers don't deal in currency. After taunting the boy enough, one of the old men tells Shihao the secret to enable the treasure bones. He announces that he will have to break any sort of record to achieve a single treasure bone. At first, Shihao appears puzzled and runs out of options, but soon enough he decides to break the record of the fastest speed. He runs around in circles with his lightning-fast speed and punches the ground really solid. This not only makes all the treasure bones come out of the rocks, but causes them to bounce in the air. Unluckily, Shihao is able to put his hands on one of the treasure bones since other people's spiritual souls loot the rest of them. The oldie locks envy Shihao for doing something they couldn't do their whole lives. Apparently, they congratulate him and pretend to be impressed by him. Subsequently, a giant rock emerges from the ground which has engraved names of all the rank holders. The elders encourage Shihao to carve his name on the rock too. Poor Shihao doesn't have the expertise to write down his name, despite being the strongest of all. He ends up carving the word goat milk instead of his name and makes everyone laugh. People start enchanting the name David the Great. Shihao hears the kids buzzing that Shihao can never defeat their strongest player David the Great. Shihao realizes that the name that's being enchanted is none other than his cousin brother. Learning David's in the godly created realm, Shihao gets infuriated and challenges to break David's record and as a desert. In the end, he promises to defeat the 10-headed dragon beast. The elders then bring Shihao's notice that he will have to cross the volcano mountain in one jump if he wants to defeat David. Some old men appear and try their best to snatch the treasure bone Shihao had just plucked out of the ground, but they miserably fail. Cutting them out, Shihao reaches the volcano. There, the stone emerges and announces to the entire realm that a boy named Goat Milk is about to take the challenge to cross the volcano in one jump. Hearing this, a group of very skilled and hot women lands near the volcano. They offer Shihao a diploma in their academy if he happens to pass the challenge. Not caring about the enrollment, Shihao musters all of his strength and uses his lightning-fast speed to cross the volcano. Like always, Shihao's successful. The stone emerges once again and announces Shihao as the new record holder of the lava challenge. Including the hot women, everyone present near the volcano starts offering Shihao to join their clubs and clans, but he's not satisfied. He is bummed to learn that winning the lava challenge hasn't brought a treasured bone. Shihao lets his frustration out by smacking the giant rock. This gets him banned from the god's manifested dimension for over 2 years and sends him back to his actual world. With the sight of Shihao being vacuumed out of the realm, the episode ends. Episode 12 begins with the sight of Shihao lying by the lake with utter disappointment. He reunites with Champ and also gets to see Cairo. As he notices that the falling leaves are bringing autumn with them, Roy shows up and sits next to him. The two join their heads and decide to join an academy to strengthen their powers and reach a certain level that can help Shihao look for his parents. The two get back to the village and share their thoughts with Shiyun and the elderly warriors. Now that Shihao is a teenager and also an extraordinary fighter, Shiyun doesn't show concern. He allows the two to choose a path that they find suitable for them. With his elders' well wishes, Shihao and Roy head on their new journey. On their way, the two cross paths with multiple deadly beasts. The two simultaneously look out for each other from the beasts and kill them all. Roy also consumes enough energy from the beasts to reach the blood transformation level. Shihao also cultivates and reaches higher ranks. The two finally make their way to the academy where Shihao is offered admission. He puts on a lot of weight so that he becomes unrecognizable. Since his actions in the gods' realm had brought him embarrassment and a notorious image previously, he decides to disguise himself as a fat boy. On the other side, an anonymous figure is seen showing a portrait of Shihao to one of his soldiers and directing him to find him, who goes by the name Goat Milk. Meanwhile, Shihao has a direct token to get admitted to the academy without passing any tests. Assuming that his brother Roy may not be able to pass the tests, he lets Roy have his token, which was given to him by the owner of the academy, and make his work easy. Roy becomes happy and goes to the admission in charge and shows him the token. The owner of the academy, Maria, makes an appealing entrance from above the sky while riding a tamed dragon. Maria has been called by the admission in charge to observe the test match. As Maria settles, the admission in charge starts the test and sends them to a random location. His voice guides the children to cross two main tests if they want enrollment in Maria's academy. With very vague instructions, the admission in charge's voice fades away. Within a minute, multiple portals open up in all four directions and start shooting laser beams. Everyone gets on the floor and tries to save themselves. While they're at it, Shihao realizes that the ground is similar to Liu's manifested world. He gets Champ to locate treasure bones in the ground. Champ becomes useful and helps Shihao trace one. While dodging the laser beams, Shihao launches a forceful punch on the ground which causes the treasure bone to come out. On retrieving one treasure bone, one portal closes itself. Shihao realizes that there are more for each one of the students from his batch, so he gets Champ's help to find everyone's treasure bone and plucks them out. This causes all the portals to close and allow the kids to move to their second test. Roy, who is out of the game, sees the admission in charge plan to fail all the students. Meanwhile, the students head to their second test. They find a giant rock that is there to announce the second test and lead them throughout. The rock announces that the children have to collect 2 gemstones to clear the level. Luckily, Fatty Shihao finds one right on the spot and becomes excited to find the other one. Not knowing that retrieving gemstones isn't easy, he moves forward. A few seconds later, a giant burning lizard beast approaches and attacks Shihao. The lizard is there to take away the gem from him. While Shihao's in midair, bearing the lizard's attack, his first gemstone comes out of his fanny pack and falls down. Another enrolled student shows up and catches the stone in midair. Lizard's attention gets diverted toward that boy. While releasing toxic fumes from her mouth, she smacks the boy with her tail and causes the gem to fall to the ground. The lizard, Shihao, and the new boy circle around the gem and face one another. To everyone's terror, a giant black leopard beast peeks from behind. The lizard and the new boy see the leopard and run away, saving their lives and fearing him. Since Shihao was facing him backward, he didn't know what made the boy and the lizard tap out. Soon, the horrifying leopard shows up in front of Shihao and opens an attack on him. He shows his wrath by spitting out fire from his mouth. Before we get to see Shihao's reflexes, the episode ends. And that is all for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and turn on notifications for our next video. Take care.